right, welcome back to another episode of Fantasy with Man McMahon. Today we're going to be looking at Game Week 9 for Fantasy Premier League. So we'll go over how Game Week 8 went. It was a very big W, and what the strategy is going to be for Game Week 9. It also came off a decently sized W for Fantasy UCL, but yeah. Talk about how last week went, what I'm keeping, what I'm leaving behind, and yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Game Week 8. So it was great. It was a great game week. Oh, I'm so happy. It finally all came together somewhat. Somewhat came together. Okay. So yeah, let me pull the team up on screen right here. Move from back to front. In net, we had Sanchez got the clean sheet. 6 points, easy as you like. Livramento, yep, we'll take those. Aspi, same with him, we'll take those. Diaz was unfortunate because he was like a substitution with like 19 minutes left. So that was unfortunate, but it is what it is. Janssen, he was an auto, like both Livramento and Janssen's were auto subs, and Janssen's came so close to like he could have had like 2 goals and an assist as a defender in that Chelsea game. Like, Mendy saved his volley with his face. So like, yeah, like sometimes it just happens like that, and he was an auto sub anyway, so I'll just take the 2 additional points. The midfield finally worked for me. I finally got a good midfield. We had Son with 9 points. Thank God. Salah, what a beautiful triple captain. Oh, I by the time that I had woken up on, it would have been Saturday, the game had already finished. I went and checked, and I saw that Firmino had a hat-trick, and I got bummed out. I was like, damn it. And then I saw Salah had shit too. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Foden and Bernardo, they linked up. It was a nice little 1-2 between them. I think it was Foden's shot that Silva got the rebound off of, so we take that. The forwards were lackluster, but yeah. Mopai could have had a couple goals. And Antonio, yeah, he lost his early season form, but I'm still going to back him for this week. On the bench, we left Ramsdale on the bench, and that turned out to be the right decision. We knew Rafinha wasn't going to play, so I left him on the bench. And then Alonso and Adam Armstrong were in my starters. They didn't play, so yeah, auto subs, you can see him here. That Alonso and Armstrong got subbed for Livramento and Janssen. And honestly, it was so nice to have it finally work out. So let's look at the scoreboards. As you can see, I racked up a total of 89 points. Of course, that got heavily deducted for transfers, but I shouldn't have to be making a whole lot of transfers until maybe game week 12 even. Yeah, so 89 points as a whole got me numbers 7,407 in the game week. Of course, that gets deducted by 24, but even with 65 points for this game week is a very decent W, and your boy has returned to the land of the green arrows, and we're back, baby. We're back! So sick! Let's go! Alright, so now that we have talked about just how well Game Week 8 went, let's see if we can replicate that with my strategy for Game Week 9. I'm keeping my team largely the same. I'm making 2 transfers for a -4 deduction. I'll show you those transfers now. So we are bringing in Havertz and Laporte for Foden and Ruben Diaz. So the reason why, originally, my plan was my 1 free transfer. I was just going to use it, and I was going to, transfer out Sanchez for McCarthy. But then with all the injuries to Chelsea, I figured, Havertz would be a very attainable option, and he could have some serious firepower. In fact, he is going to be my captain for this week. And the Laporte for Diaz, that was just so I could afford Havertz, because if I just did Foden for Havertz 1-for-1, I was exactly 0.1 million short. Oh, it was so tough, but yeah. So this is what my team is going to look like for this week. I'll pull it up now. So in goal, we are going with Ramsdale against Villa. Obviously, McCarthy this week would have been a better option, but I think Ramsdale will do fine. And if he doesn't, oh well. That's my plan for next week, is to bring in McCarthy into my side. At the back, we have Alonso, Aspi, and Laporte. I'm fairly certain either Alonso or Aspi, one of them isn't going to start. I'm not sure which one, but we'll find out. I have a feeling that maybe Alonso will start and Aspi won't, just because Chelsea just played yesterday in the UCL game. Then the midfield. The midfield is where we are hoping for a big ol' haul. We have Son, Salah, Havertz, Bernardo Silva, and Rafinha. This is where these are big players. This is where we need the hauls from. And then up front, we have Armstrong, once again, hopefully he actually plays this week, and Antonio alongside him. So yeah, that's the squad. And then on the bench, we have Sanchez. I wasn't going to play him because it's going up against City, so not too confident about that one. We have Livramento. I put him on the bench just because I know, like, there's got to be at least one person in my starting 11 that won't play this week, and Livramento is a fairly solid bet for points. And then Janssen, same thing with him. Like, even though Brentford are going up against Leicester, he manages to get points. So, like, in the event that, say, Bernardo doesn't play, like, it's the same thing. And then Mopai, unlikely that he gets anything, but and unlikely that I have three subs. But even if I do, he'll get his 2 points hopefully. But yeah, this is the squad we're rocking with. I'm not sold on a couple things just because I'm not sure about Pep Roulette, especially with how close the games are from UCL to back to the Premier League. And Havertz, like, I think he should have the biggest haul out of anybody this week. I thought about moving Antonio, but Tottenham's defense after the first 3 game weeks has been sketchy at best. They haven't kept a clean sheet since game week 3, so that's why I'm rocking with Antonio. He should be bagging at least one. But yeah, this is what I'm rocking with. I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic, and yeah, I think it should be decent. I think it should be good, and hopefully we just returned to the land of green arrows. Hopefully it stays that way for a while. You know, like, in terms of, like, any, like, concerns, like, I'm concerned about not captaining Salah just because of how because they're playing at Old Trafford, and Man United at home, as we've seen since the start of this year, they've been a little bit sketchy. They've been a little bit sketchy at home. And actually, they've just been a little bit sketchy the whole year, but especially at home. And yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. It makes me upset. I don't know, maybe I'm still tossing up, like, maybe I do captain Salah, maybe I captain Son, because it's going up against West Ham, who have struggled in the last few weeks, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. It should be a good game week, and even if it's not good for fantasy, it's just going to be an entertaining slate of games, that's what it's really all about, isn't it, folks? All right, yeah, that's my team for this week. All right, well, that about does it for me for this episode of Fantasy with Man McMahon. It should be a good week. I'm hoping for, well, it's going to be a guaranteed good week in terms of games. Fingers crossed for a good week in fantasy. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, it'll be just next week. I was trying to think if there's anything like fixture analysis or what's called, or UCL or anything, but no. Just going to be the next FPL video next Thursday or so. Well, whatever day it ends up being, but it'll be next week. They'll be covering game week 10. In large part, like, I'm going to be, unless something catastrophic happens for the next, like, 3 game weeks, it's going to be largely the same team. But yeah. Yeah, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Peace!